Hello everybody and welcome back to Oakbridge Farm. So the first thing we are going to do of this episode is wash this trailer. It is quite frankly a disgrace, I think we should say, that we've led sort of barley and canola in it being in this state. We might also just do the tractor as well. I have downloaded the tyre mod where it wears your tyres over time, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that goes. We are going to do, see, I don't know whether they're slightly worn or not, I don't know, but we are going to, as a first job, now we've done that, I can't get back in my tractor now, so let's pull this forward. We are going to put this trailer on and we're going to take a load of silage to the BGA, and then we're going to look at baling and then getting rid of our straw bales. When I mean getting rid, bringing them back to the farm, and then we can sell them in due course. Because when we move into the next month, we'll have the wheat harvest to do. We will also have we can drill the canola in the next month, which is always good because it gives you 2 months. If you're ever short or forget, it does give you an extra month to do it. Whilst if you do it in the second month that you can drill, then you miss out on it. If it wasn't for this BGA, we would be seriously struggling. This has just meant that there has been constant money coming in all the time for us. Now with that empty, we can head back to the farm. We will grab the baler, and now having the new combine at, is it 15.2 or 15.3 metres, it means that there isn't many straw swaths at all for us. And our forest, so with how it's looking like, I'm hoping that these smaller trees will grow a bit, and we may look at chipping the whole forest. If not, we'll do the lodgepole pine this year, and then we can do the other trees, which I forget what they are. If we just have a run, will it tell us? Scotch pine. We can then chip all our Scotch pine a bit later on. But I do think it's worth clearing that, considering we planted it, to see how much we can make. And I don't think, obviously now we're doing a silver run series, I don't think we want to spend too much time on cutting, processing and selling making them into products at the sawmill. So we will leave this just here and go grab the baler. There is in here a part bale of hay, so what we will do just before we go, to save converting that over to straw, is if we reverse into here, if we can on this angle, like so, and press O, and press, does it need to be on? O, I. Why is it? Oh, it has gone. It was that quick at accepting it, I never saw it. Right, we'll get over to our field. So we're still set on 240 because that's what we were on when we did our hay. So it should just mean turn on, lower down, and we're away. So, by the end of this episode, I want to try and get it so this field is drilled and ready. And we also want to try and get it so that it is at its maximum yield potential, which will most likely mean that we have to look at a set of rolls as well. So we may have to start to look to take a loan out. But what I am thinking to do, I'm going to leave as a surprise and leave it to you lot to see when we eventually get to that stage, which it's not in keeping in the map with the map, but I don't know when I'll have another chance to try this certain thing, so why not? So I'm just going to leave the baler up here because this will be in, well, oops, I've just hit the gate. When we get into next month, this will be the field that we will be starting with harvest, I would presume. So we can put the baler in the shed here, which is where, when you first open into this map, this is where it first starts. So we're just returning it here, which is a lovely baler to start with, you know, for just opening up a map for new farmer. So let's put that there, turn it off, and then we want to go to the store with this, and we'll have to lease ourselves a lime spreader, which will keep that on lease for a while, because we're going to do all the fields probably won't need it, but we are just going to do everything. I want to have the maximum yield to get the maximum harvest possible. So we are going big. Extensions, spreading unit, we're going to get the whole lot, which that's £4,500, and it's 19,000 litres. So we need to get 8, because we do have a bag already. So let's buy that, and then we just want 1 on its own. Buy that, and then this should fill it, and hopefully with everything being, with us doing everything last year, this should mean, I say should, I'm hoping, that we may be able to do this all just with this one load and then no more. So if we park roughly in the middle like so, let's get filling. The final bag going in, 98, 99, 100. So we still have a little bit left here. I do know that we've got 1 or 2 bags at the farm, but I'd rather go fully loaded, and if we do need a little bit more, we can see if we can use what's left at the farm. So for the time being, we will just leave this here, because I don't want to lime the field just yet with the bales still there, and we want to find, this is what we want, and we will take this down and gather them up. We may just do what we did in the last time we baled this field and just stack them. Oh, we're going to make this, yes, and just stack them on the side. It just makes a lot of sense. When we did this last, and it was it a sunflower field, I want to think, and I'm now uncertain, we got nearly 2 loads of bales off it. Now we've done it as a barley field, the bales look very, very minimal, but anyways. Worker can do the lime spreading for us, and it means we can go double check on everything else. But that was a huge reduction by about 14 bales, if I was to guess that we had off there, which is most surprising. So let's hire a worker for that, and this should be a more uniformed colour throughout. So what are we? Let's have a look at the animals just before we do move. Oh, that's not good. Water buffalo are empty. So if we get to here, we will drop the auto stacker off and we'll go get them some food. and the chickens may need some food, and we'll check, well basically we'll just check all the animals before we do move on. So first, the chickens, which there should be a bit of barley left in here. So let's tip that. There's only 6,000 litres, but... Okay, so they are full. So if we drop that off, we will go... Is there any silage in there? Nope. So we will now go, get our black trailer. We'll fill this up with TMR for the cows. And then we better check our young Holstein, which it's a shame that they're not really going to get a chance to produce anything, but it does leave them for another series for us to use them in that. So just round here, and under we want total mixed ration. And there we go, so that's full. And then whatever we don't use, well, if we don't empty the trailer here, we can just put the rest into the other cows. Like I say, I don't think it makes any difference. Look at our manure, that's building up a fair amount. Yeah, I don't think it makes much difference, like giving them the better food, but if we've got a trailer load, we might as well, because we'll need this for when we start to harvest the wheat. So only 3,750. So let's get over to here and reverse in. Just got to be careful because it'll be this trailer out of them all that will hit the roof, but it should empty before we get to that stage. So let's empty that in there. So that's Water Buffalo full. There's still only, yeah, there's still only 25 of each. The goats still have the paddock they're eating, well, the meadow they're eating through. The sheep are still eating through the meadow. So, brilliant. We don't need to do any more on that front. Well, now I just have to check productions. So, production-wise, everything is fine. Let's just go. Is it giving me a better colour? It's still giving me stripes. I don't understand that. But what we do want, we want to find this, because I can mount this onto the front, can't I? Whether it makes any difference on the front or back, I don't know. But I just noticed that our olive grove is starting to grow a load of stuff. Ooh, some fertiliser there. Yeah, starting to grow all this sort of stuff. Well, all weeds and whatnot. So we do need to turn this on and go flatten these out. Which, it's been a weird one this, because I cultivated it once and I've never had to cultivate it again. I was on the assumption that no field. Okay, if we start in a different area. I was under the assumption that you always had to cultivate every year, but unless this is telling me something different, I don't know. So put the mulcher down. Let's see if this will now give us the vineyard. Here we go. So steering assist, show lines, okay. Why is it doing that again? Show lines, yes. Cruise control deactivation, manual, hide lines automatically. Why is it trying to put me onto the middle of the thing? If I put this on the back, will that make any difference? I seem to believe it did this to me last time. So let's drop it off there. And we'll reverse onto, because I think it's dual-sided, if that's what you call it. If we go on to this bit, now will this make any difference? Or is it still going to register us as sort of like the olive harvester? Steering assist, okay. Oh, well that's annoying. Well, by the sounds of it, we're just going to have to do this by hand. And the final pass. So this will be the second to last time that we do this on, well, especially on this Let's Play. So here we go. We will just do this bottom bit like so, and now we can turn off, lift up, and bring this back to the shed. So we did get a notification halfway through doing that, or 3/4 of the way through, saying that our lime spreader had finished his job. So what we will do is, if we park this up here, we will go try and find, there we go, find the John Deere. This is going to need some fuel at some point, that is for certain. So let's just fold this back up, and yes, it didn't use a lot at all, but it's just interesting whether, because it says here isn't the greatest. It says pH good, perfect good, which is just annoying that it's not all perfect. That's what I'm trying to get it to and how I would like it, but it's just not letting me. So like with the other equipment, we'll pull through here instead for this one, and we are just going to leave this here for once. Oops, without trying to drive into the shed. Leave this here ready for when we do the wheat harvest, and we can do this straight away. So we want to now the BGA should be fine, yes. So we now want to go back to our house. Let's visit here. We will rest, and I will see you in the morning, where I would have hopefully got our new toy to play with. So I am a bit worried that we're not going to be able to get this down the road, but where there's a will, there is a way. Even if we have to super strength it, just not show you the driving between here and there. But I would imagine the fact that I'm taking this gives you some idea of what we're going to collect. Now, isn't she a thing of absolute beauty? Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. Bar the fact, I don't think we can get through the gate holes. So we may just have to do a little lift up and over. It's cost us over £20,000 in leasing fees, but it is or at least I'm sure it is, yeah, a direct seeder, and then in here we can do seed and fertilizer. So we are going to, I think if we go 4 bags of seed, so let's buy them, and then if we do 4 bags of fertilizer, that should hopefully see us through the whole of our drilling for this year, because I'm going to try and get as much as I can done into winter crops. But I know I'm going to seriously struggle driving this down the road, especially down that avenue of trees. So let's turn this round here. I may not even get out of here to begin with. So is that ready to be filled? Right, so we can start filling this up. Right, and there we go. So I will see you. Well, let's just see if we get stuck here. Right, we're stuck straight away. I'll see you at field 33. And so here we are, finally unfolding, which, yeah, we destroyed all the dealership's gates. We destroyed, I think, is there a house just by the dealership entrance? We managed to destroy that, so nothing would have survived from our antics just then. Which, yeah, fairly comical. But anyways, that is part of the fun, or at least part of the fun for me. So we will get drilling this canola. How far do we have to zoom out? We'll get drilling this canola. Well, that has used a ridiculous amount of fertiliser, and it's been fairly brilliant. I've really enjoyed that. The only thing that I'm slightly concerned about is why the tram lines haven't gone. Obviously I've swapped them to 54 metres because that's what we're planning on doing this next time by getting the big Agrifax sprayer. Why have they not just drilled in? You shouldn't have to, well, I wouldn't have thought you'd have to cultivate them in, but anyways. So right, I think that is the perfect time now. We could roll this, but I don't know whether it would be worth it or beneficial, because it's saying here yield potential 80 and we're expected 78, so 2% off I don't think is too bad. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye for now.